All right, welcome back, everybody. Part two of the Clint Eastwood contour type project. Last time I made some progress on the hat. I'm going to finish that up and begin work on his face. Next thing to do is to pick another movie title. I think I'm just going to go in order. So next we have Hang 'em High. Go to my text box, text tool, Hang 'em High, all caps. All right. Make that fairly large here. I think that'll do it. Trying to decide where this is going to go. And I think I might do it on the right side of the hat here. Okay. So the next thing to do is say Control C, Control V. I'm going to delete the text layer. And now I have my copied layer that I can actually transform. And it's going to begin here and kind of wrap around his head right there. So I'll do a standard transform first just to get it kind of in the right direction here. And that should work. And now for the mesh transform. So I've gone to select and I've hit mesh transform. And there's going to be a lot to it. I currently have 4 columns. I'm going to make that 6. You know, more than that, maybe 7. I got a lot of stretching to do here. So the more columns you make, the more ability you have to finesse it. And this time I'm going to go with less rows. I think I'm just going to try 2. I'm curious. We'll give that a go and see what that's like with just the 2 rows. Okay. It might be easier, I guess. Whoa, I shouldn't have hit OK. Sorry. One more time. Mesh transform, 7 columns, 2 rows. All right. Let's see if we can do this. I'm going to grab this corner and this bottom line here and really pull this around. Gosh, maybe I should have just gone with 1 row. I wonder what that would be like. You know, I think I'm gonna. Let's try that out one more time. Select mesh transform, 7 columns, 1 row. Let's see how that works. It may prove to be easier. I guess we'll find out. It's going pretty well right now, actually. Just bending this H on the bottom, I knew this was going to be a challenge. And we may be finding out the limitations of this 1 row, but I'm still going to try it here. I haven't given up. We're really stretching this out. It seems to be working. Seems there. Yeah, that's getting in there pretty good. That's working. I think this might be the way to go for now on. Just the 1 row, because that simplifies things so much here. I'm going to have to pull this one way off on the edge to get the rest of that H, but that is definitely working. Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, say what you will about Medibang, but for a free program, uh, I'll take it. Look at that. It is really working. So yes, this is going to be my recommendation from here on out. To do lots of columns, but just the one row. Nice. Be careful about that moving. Boy, that moving gets me every time. I'm very happy with that. Let's see what that looks like. Hang them high. We'll turn it off. Nice. Nice. Okay. There we go. Next movie. We'll do the other side of the hat with the next movie. Let's see what that is here. This section right in here, I don't want it to be too long because it's kind of short and a short and stocky fill. You know what? I have a decision to make actually. Is this his hair or this is a hat? Actually, I could do the hat and then do this piece of hair with another one, but that would have to be really short and stocky. Just a one-word title, you know. So what? Breezy. There's a one-word title. And any others? That looks enforcer. Could just use the word enforcer. That was a pretty good Dirty Harry movie. That might work. So for this one, I'll put in a title, kind of a thin title, and this one I'll just use the word enforcer. All right. So Coogan's Bluff. Let's do that one. That'll be our next one here. Just trying to go in order. Okay. Take that, Control C, Control V, delete that layer. Move tool, get the move tool, put this one over here. Control T, gonna rotate it so it's kind of in position here. And hit OK, and now go to my select mesh transform. Oh, that's interesting. With the columns like that, that's not gonna work. That is very interesting. I'm going to back up. So I'm just going to do the mesh transform altogether here as it is horizontal. I didn't realize when you do the mesh transform, it doesn't rotate with it. So it looks like you need to do that beforehand. So there it is. And now I can take the whole thing and rotate it. Yes, that is, and then move it. So that is definitely the preferred way to do that. Don't rotate it before you apply the mesh transform. Just do the mesh transform and don't mess with the standard transform. Okay, so that's my new technique. And start pulling this stuff down. So this is basically just the underside of the hat that I'm doing right here. And then this other area, which is his hair, I'll do next. All right, let's see what that looks like. Pretty happy with that. Looking good. Looking real good. Okay. Now for his hair. So this is where I was saying just the one word, short one word. We'll go with enforcer. And that's honestly, that is not quite short enough. Um, Maybe a two-word one where they could stack on each other. How about like magnum force? I'm going to do that. Or Dirty Harry. That would be good. Dirty Harry. Let's try that. So go to my text box here. Dirty Harry. DIRTY. And then return. Second column. HARRY. Perfect. And yeah, I think I'm going to take it just that size. Control C, Control V. Delete this guy. Move this guy into place. You know, the truth is those two could be closer together. I think I maybe should have done those separately. That's easy enough. I can just duplicate the layer, duplicate it, there it is, and then delete the part I don't want on the one and same with the other. So using my selection tool, I'll just select this thing and hit delete. That's because I'm on the wrong layer that it's not working. Sorry. Try it on this one. This one I'll delete the dirty. Delete. Okay, and this one I'm going to delete Harry. Delete. Okay. All right, got them separated, and that'll make things a little smoother. I'm going to have to do this twice, but that'll make it fit better. Okay, so going to my mesh tool, select mesh transform, rotate it, get it kind of closer to where I want it here, something like that. That's the basic area. Okay, and then I'm going to start stretching this thing out. All right, I think that looks good. And then we'll move Harry into position here. I just give that an initial squeezing. That'll help get things started. And then the mesh transform. I think I should have squished that whole thing a little bit more. I'm running out of room here. So I'm going to have to individually slide these over, unfortunately. And that's doable. Nice. Amazing. Maybe the top of that Y I could use a little more. And you can go back. So I'm going to hit select, mesh transform, and go right back to it. And I think the top of that Y needs a little work. There it is. And yeah, nice. Guys, I'm going to do one more with you. I don't want to take all your time here. So I'll do one more with you and let you go. I think you understand how this thing works. So I'm going to do his mustache. How about that? That'll be a challenge. That's kind of a long, thin one. So let's choose like a longer name. 2 mules for Sister Sarah. Go to my type. 2 mules for Sister Sarah. And I'm definitely going to make that quite a bit smaller on the font. Okay. And, you know, just to summarize, guys, I am using a font called Western Normal, which I was able to download to my computer from dafont.com. To get it to show up, I had to make sure I was not using the cloud text rendering. So by having this little box right here unchecked, I was able to find my font all the way down at the bottom. So any font that you add is going to show up down here at the bottom. And you can see all these ones I've added in the past: Thick Deco, Mouse Deco, Coyote Deco. Remember when we were doing that Art Deco poster, I had added those unknowingly. They were also showing up in Medibang. So that's how you get them to show up there. And you don't have to, but I recommend finding a font that really applies to what you're doing. I love the look of this Western font that I'm using for this. Text color should be black. I mean, it doesn't have to be. If you want to use different colored text, you may. So by all means. But if you're just doing a black and white image, black shows up well. So that's what I'm using. Okay. And then you get it typed out. You immediately copy the text. So Control C and then Control V. That's all you do. Control C, Control V. And when you do that, it creates a new layer. And you can see that up there. It throws the text up into the corner. It's on a new layer. And this layer is now totally editable. totally transformable, I should say. You can't change the spelling on it. It's no longer text. So if you need to change the spelling, go back to the other layer and you can edit that one. But if you are done, delete that layer and then take your new layer that you created, and that's the one you're going to mesh transform. So go to select and hit mesh transform. Choose the number of rows and columns. I would just go with one row. There does not seem to be any advantage to having more than one row. It's just a lot of lines you got to move around. I mean, I'm pretty sure about that. But the columns, that's definitely where the action's at. So the more twisting you got to do, the more columns you're going to want. And I'm going to want a bunch for this one. So I'm going with 10 columns on this one because I got to make this thing wrap all the way around his lips here. I'm now going to move it into place. I'm going to center it up. And the truth is it's probably a little long. It probably is a little long. So I'm gonna hit cancel and then I'm gonna just do a regular transform, Control T, and just shrink it up a little bit. So Control T controls the width and height, just the regular transform. You can also move it. I believe that's a good width, but it was definitely too long. And now I'm guessing that's probably about right. And now to do the mesh transform, we'll just select mesh transform. And by the way, the regular transform, and of course, the Control T one is right above that. So hitting mesh transform, and now I can go in here and grab the top row and make make this mustache it's all twisted and snarled because he has got a twisted and snarled lip. He's an angry man. He's not just an angry man. He's more of an annoyed man. Clint Eastwood always seems like he is annoyed with the characters he's dealing with because they all seem to be just fools compared to him. He's so much smarter. He's so much of a better gunslinger than his enemies. It's like it's a waste of his time for him to be dealing with these buffoons. It's like everybody else is just silly compared to him. He's got that attitude. And so that's the look on his face right now. He's just like, man, you guys, why are you even bothering me? Don't you know who I am? Let's see what that looks like. 2 mules for Sister Sarah. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. Nice. All right, guys, I think that is enough of a demo. Hopefully you can finish yours off in a similar manner. You're welcome to use any color you want on it, but when you turn this in, I do not want to see the background. All I want to see is the text. 100% words. That's it. All right, guys. Good luck.